Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. We are going to make 2 more base pages tonight. And I think I think that's 20. I'm going to have to go back and count them to be sure. But I think that'll be 20. So we'll have those done. These are just some scraps that are going in with that one. So I have this whole page. And I haven't decided if I'm going to cut away part of this or if I'm going to leave it. I may go ahead and cut part of it away because I like it and there's no use to double that up. So let me get a mark and we will cut part of that away. All right. Okay. There is our mark, and we'll cut it away right there. Okay. I'm just using scraps. This, of course, as you can see, is a full page, but I've got some scraps out here that I am going to use. Let's get that on there. And then this gives us a good size scrap. All right, so let's just, this is just exactly how it was in the scrap drawer. And so I decided to use it like it was. So let's get this on our 12 by 12 so we know that we're the right size. Take a piece of washi and just hold that down. And then we can put this one on and know that we're the right size. Okay, so let's just put a line of glue. I'm trying to use scraps in the sizes that they are and not create a lot more scraps. That's just one of the really awesome things about, that's not straight, about doing these base pages is that you can use things that have just been laying around on your desk or scraps that have been in your scrap bin for a long time and use up some of that stuff. I love the base pages for that reason. Okay. All right. Now that has our base of our base page done. And then I have this, and I think I'm just going to put it on here like that. I really thought about putting it because I trimmed it just a little so that it would fit, and I honestly thought about doing that with it. But I don't know what I think it'd be harder to do pictures because with that. So I think I'm just going to do it offset down here like this and call it good is what I'm thinking. Maybe I want to center it a little better. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I would just put this down here. I love these different grays together. And this is just a 3x5 card. And I actually thought I would tuck it right up in under there just to give a little bit better, definition from that. I think I'm going to ink this. At first I thought yes, and then I thought no, but I think I am. I want to be sure and get this side over here because it's the white and this side has the darker gray checks. I want to be sure and get it on the lighter paper. And I'm not going to ink much, but I think I want to ink it a little down this all the way around. Let me go ahead and do the twist while we're doing this. The twist tonight comes from Psalms 119:11. And it says, "Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee." One of the main goals that we should have in our life is that we don't sin against God. not, even if you're not a Christian, if you just abide by the things that, you know, are sins, your relationships with people will be better. But as Christians, we want our relationship with God to be better. And we want our relationship with our family and our friends and our acquaintances, our co-workers. We want to have good relationships. And so that's kind of what this psalmist is saying. He said, thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee. So he's seeking that better relationship with God. And the better our relationship with God, usually the better it is with others. And so he goes on to say, here's how you do that. Here's the process. So how can I not sin against God so that my relationship is good? What is the process to guard against sinning against God? And the psalmist, who is possibly King David, maybe not, we don't know for sure who wrote the 119th Psalm, but the psalmist says that to know God's word is how we don't sin against him. How can we not sin against him if we don't know what he considers as sin? We've got to know his word to know what he considers sin. There are many, many good people in the world that just don't know God's word. And so they accept things that are sin and stand for things that are sinful. Maybe it's just because they don't know God's word. But the psalmist here is telling us, here's the recipe for not sinning. The recipe for not sinning is knowing God's word. And you hide it in your heart. You tuck it so deep, so tightly stored and deep in your heart, like it's hidden there. And then when you know his word and you've got it literally in that organ of our body that is our heartbeat, literally, then we can keep from sinning against God. And when we can do that, then our relationship with God is better and our relationship with others is better. And so by hiding it, tucking it in our heart, that's how we cannot sin against God. I'm going to ink this just a little bit also. There we go. You can tell I'm tired. I'm not talking very much. My puppies have me worn out. All right, so let's, get a little bit of glue on this. Again, I'm not gluing them everywhere in case I want to tuck. I think I'm going to just leave a couple of rows on each at the top and on the side. And I'm not going to glue that all the way. I'm even going to leave that loose just in case I want to tuck. I kind of got carried away over here, but it'll probably be all right. Okay, so I think that is going to be one base page. All right, there we go. So there's one. I think this is number 19. I'm not positive. I'm going to go back and count them. The next one is just going to be kind of a fun page. Like I said, I find my inspiration in different places. And so I decided I hadn't done a brown. And I thought I use a lot of brown with my boys because these go in with that other layout. I use a lot of brown with my boys. And so I went through my brown scraps and look what I found in there. I found these sock monkeys. Well, you know, my boys are getting bigger, but they're still monkeys. They're still goofy. I mean, they're just goofy. And so I thought, oh, that'll be fun. I need to do something with that. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just cut them out. I don't know for sure. Haven't decided. So I'm going to hang on to that. Then I found I had this big envelope, and I liked the red, and the red's good with the sock monkeys. But I didn't want this New York City scape or whatever that is. So I had this also in my brown scraps. And it was literally just, I mean, this is all that was left when I got through cutting this. So I thought, I think I'm just going to cover that part that's the cityscape with this and leave that envelope somehow. So that's what I'm going to start with. Let's get all this stuff off of here. That is what I'm going to start with, is making this envelope, because I just think that's kind of cool. Even though that's really a little flower, it just matches so good with the kind of cream colored background that I chose, and it matches good with the monkeys. So I think it's okay, even though I'm like almost 100% sure I'll end up using this on some pictures with the boys. Okay. Oh, I want to ink that. See if I've got, here's one with black. Just go ahead and, I definitely want this inked, because I'm putting it right up against that black line on this envelope, and that'll just make it all blend better. Okay, now maybe we can get it glued in there. I may have to stick a little more glue on it. Okay, so there, I thought I could tuck a picture or put some monkeys around on it. I don't know. But this has been, I've got a whole set of these envelopes. I think they came with some invitations or something. I'm not sure where or how I got them, but I've used them quite a bit, and they're fun to use. And then I had this scrap in my drawer, which has the red that goes with that, and that brown matches really good with my sock monkeys. And so I thought, well, I think I'll do a little of it. And I don't know if I want to, I'm kind of thinking I might just have a little bit of a frame around this, so I'll need to cut that off. And that one will still show if I keep this like this. But I didn't know if I wanted to do something like that. I don't know. Let's cut this down just a little so that we can keep a little frame all the way around. See if that's enough. It may not be enough. Don't need much. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so let's get this on here. That's a good red on the back, too. Okay. Okay. All right, there's that. And then the envelope, it would be cute, something like that. I just don't know what pictures. I don't know anything. And then I found, let me show you some things that I found. I thought that little wagon with monkeys around on it would be cute. And then let me show you what all monkeys I found. This was in the scrap drawer, and I thought, well, I can just fussy cut those, or I could do a tag or a banner or something with them. And then I found, well, this is good, like if I want a journaling spot. I found that. I found this little red frame. I found this little ticket thing that, you know, has all those colors. But look what else I found. This was in my binder, my boys binder. So I've got the buttons and the monkeys that are the stickers too, and then it says grinning like a monkey. So I thought I'd put those in there with it. But I just thought this little wagon that I made, and I put a little boy in it for a swap one time, but I thought that'd be really cute if it had some monkeys in it. So I'm going to stick all that in there. Good, do something. But I'm going to stick all of this. This was just something in my binder, and I thought, well, it's red. It matches that. They could be climbing on it or something. But I've got to decide where I want my envelope. Do I want it square? I wish y'all could talk to me. Do I want it over some like that? Or do I want it, since it's monkeys, do I want it, you know, slanted? Where would I put the little wagon if I do it slanted? I guess it could still go like down there like that. I kind of like the slanted, but I could probably get more pictures on it, because I could, if I did it maybe not slanted. I think this is the cutest, but I just don't know if I will be able to get as many pictures. I'm going to slant it. I'm just barely going to glue this down so that I can tuck and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and commit to the slant. That's about the same on each side. And then I can put the little wagon of monkeys down there and put my other monkeys around. So, and I could like tuck that under somewhere and let monkeys be climbing on it. I don't know. But anyway, I got plenty of monkeys to choose from. So that is that one. And like I said, I think these are, I think this makes 20. And then I can start working on base pages. I mean, not working on base pages and working on layouts. So I have this one, the grays, and I have this one in the red and brown. So, okay, thanks for dropping by. I hope you had a great day. I so appreciate you dropping by my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, give me a little boost, and have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.